welcome or welcome back to my Glamorous channel. And for today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a huge guide on what to do before every update comes out in Astro Renaissance. Before we get started with today's video, if you guys are new here, please consider subscribing to my channel to reach our goal of 9,000 subscribers. And also, you make sure to hit the post notification button on so you never miss a video from me. And let's just get started with today's video. So I have 5 tips and tricks on what to do, like for example right now where there's no Astro Renaissance update, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to be coming out with like a fall or Halloween update coming, because it is going to be autumn, and during autumn is like Thanksgiving and like Halloween and stuff. So I do want to prepare for that because I do want to do a giveaway for that, but I did want to give you guys a guide video. So once you finish watching this video, you're gonna not need any more tips and tricks ever, because I came up with some stuff that probably no one has ever talked about, and it's gonna help you guys a lot, even if you're new and you don't have any multipliers. So first things first, this one is totally optional, but for a lot of you guys, some of you have enough Robux for the Astro Pass. And for those who don't know what an Astro Pass is, basically an Astro Pass is what you use to like buy, like you spend Robux on it and you get like moonstone tickets and free accessories for that current season. So for example, this season is the solar return season, so you get like basically all of the summer items and stuff that comes with that Astro Pass. So I do recommend that you save your Robux. Like if you do have Robux, or like if you have Builders Club, whatever, please save your Robux for like every update that comes out. Okay, y'all, my bad. I got disconnected and I turned my quality down, so that's why I look different. But anyway, yeah, don't be spending your Robux on like unnecessary stuff and like outfits or whatever, because like especially if you're addicted to Astro Renaissance as much as I am. So make sure you save your Robux so that way you can get the deluxe pass, which gives you more stuff. Another tip is to try to farm for like 10 to 30 minutes a day. So I did actually write down like the benefits of this. Like when I AFK farm, like that's my favorite method, because that means I can watch TV. Like I can literally do whatever and just sit there and farm all the time. A lot of you guys actually met me by when I was AFK farming, so that's kind of weird, because it's like I don't be there sometimes, so it's like y'all be talking to me and I'm just sitting there like an NPC. But anyways, so like when you AFK farm, you can get like, if you AFK farm for like 5 minutes, and wait a minute, I got multiplier, so this is kind of inaccurate. What I'm saying, I'm going to divide it by 2.
So like if you farm for like 5 minutes, if you have the multiplier, you would get 2k moonstone. If you farm for if you don't have the multiplier, then you would just get 1k. If you farm for 10 minutes, you would get 4k, and if you don't have the multiplier, then you would just get 2k. If you farm for 20 minutes, you will get 8k. If you don't have the multiplier, you will have 4k. If you farm for 30 minutes, you will have 12k. If you don't have the multiplier, you will have 6k. And if you farm for 2 hours, which is how much I farm most of the time, you will get 48 to 50k. And if you don't have the multiplier, then you will get like 24k to 25k. I think that's how that works.
And for tickets, I recommend that you try to farm like 1 to 5k tickets daily, and it is possible, because when I was doing the Astro Pass, I was farming so many tickets a day. Like I think I leveled up like 10 times daily, 5 to 10 times daily, and that was a lot of tickets, and I wasn't even noticing. Like I was trying to figure out why I was so rich in tickets, and that was why. So it is possible, but it is time consuming. But it is super, like, it's so many ways to getting tickets. Like you can play laser tag, but the best method is to do the arcade machines with the Find the Difference game or the Balloon Popper game. A lot of people recommend the Balloon Popper game, but the Find the Difference one is my favorite. That's why I say 10 minutes and not 5, is because, you know, if you farm for 5 minutes, you won't get that much moonstone unless you're working. Because if you work, you will get when I work, I get 5,000. And I don't know if that's included with the multipliers or not, but I get 5,000 in 5 minutes. So every minute I get 1k. I don't know if it's the same. Correct me if I'm wrong if you have the multipliers or not, but I recommend working. But if you're too lazy, just AFK farm. Regardless, you do get a lot, but I recommend just doing 10 because it's more beneficial. But if you can't do 10 minutes, just do 5. And the reason why I say 30 is because, you know, that's the max. And I don't want you guys stressing over a game like trying to farm for hours and hours a day. But yeah, make sure that you're doing something and stick to it, because you won't really have to watch this video ever because you will already have everything. My third tip is to budget how much you spend a week before like the update comes out. So like right now, you don't need to budget anything because it's beginning of August, and I'm pretty sure this update will probably come out, like this update is still out, so the next update will probably come out like September or October, so you really don't have to stress about this update too much. I will let you guys know when it's time to stress, but the only time it's time for you to stress and grind is like a week or two before the update. Like once you start seeing influencers posting like tea videos and stuff about when the updates and stuff coming out, that is when you need to be budgeting everything. That is when you need to be knowing like, hey, I don't need to be going crazy in the shop no more. Like for me, for example, when I first started playing Astro Renaissance, I wanted to have all of the heals, so that's what I was putting all my money on. But then this update came out, so then I couldn't get the heals anymore, and I was just focusing on this update in general. So keep that same mind frame. Worry about that seasonal update, because the stuff that's in the shop now is going to stay in the shop until they delete it or they take it out, because they're not seasonal except for stuff in the solar return update. But everything else you can get anytime. The seasonal stuff, you want to make that be your main focus. So that's why it's very important for you to budget what you do, because if you spend all of your like moonstone or tickets on stuff that, you know, isn't seasonal, by the time it is seasonal, you're not going to have anything. We never know when the game can like crash or like leave, or like Roblox can go down, because you know Roblox is known for going down, so you never know. My next tip is to know how much you need to save. So it's kind of the same thing as tip number 3. So you're not worried about how much you're spending, but you're worried about how much, you know, you need to farm in general. So for me, I always try to make sure I get like 200 300k for the shop. But for wave 2, y'all, I think it was like over 200k for like moonstone for like the stuff. So try to farm like 200 300k, so that way if you're like under, you won't have to farm as much. And make sure that you only buy stuff that you know you're going to use, because you might not even need that much if you're buying stuff that you're going to use. But I like to buy the whole shop, because I don't know, maybe in the future I might want to use that stuff, but you never know. So but only get stuff that you know you're going to use, that way if it does leave, you know you got everything that you wanted first in time before like everything else go. So just figure out how much you're gonna farm, especially for that day. Like, so for example, if you are farming like right now to start off for like the new updates or whatever, I would recommend that you try to farm 10k a day. Try to figure out how much or how long you're gonna farm every day. That way it won't be too stressful whenever you farm. Keep in mind that you want to make sure that you know how much you're going to save for that update, because you don't have to farm it all in one day. You could just like break it up. Okay, I'm gonna 5k this day, 10k this day, and then maybe one day you might not have nothing going on, so you could farm 100k that day. You just never know. And my last and final tip is to do your research about the update before that update comes out. So like I said, for tip number 3, I think a lot of us influencers basically tell y'all when it is time to farm, and we come up with all these like farming videos and like tea videos and stuff like that. So that is the time when you want to farm, and make sure that you do your research. Like, so you want to follow those influencers, and you want to like be on Twitter or Discord or whatever socials that that game has, for example Astro Renaissance. So you know, like, okay, I know what to prepare for. That's why this tip is very important, because you know what you're setting up for. Like, we all know that Astro Renaissance comes out with like stuff that costs tickets and a whole bunch of sets and stuff. So if you don't have no moonstone, you're basically not going to be able to do anything. And it is quest that does give you like free stuff, but you want the stuff that, you know, costs money, because those be like, you know, stuff that everybody wants. So make sure that you're doing your research, that you know. So let's say, for example, they do come out with a new planet, but it does cost moonstone for or tickets for you to get in that planet. you will already know that, so that way you will already have planned out everything, plan how much you're going to farm for this update, you know, so you know. Anyway, you guys, that is all for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you just use like Instagram to my channel, if you're new, join the Glamorous. When we're hitting 9,000 subscribers, you guys know subscribe to my channel. Please just like Instagram to my channel with the post notification button on. So this video for me, and most probably stay glamorous, and I'll see you guys on next video. Bye guys.